What is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So with everything popping off this week in Darwin's game, it's getting pretty obvious why certain people are in position that they are, just because not only are we looking at like a ridiculous outcome for the top person to be in a clan with us, but we're also not really sure how long that's even gonna last, right? Like, she could straight up try to attack him next week's episode if she really wants to. So it's a really interesting thought process to have someone in her of her caliber on your team. Uh, Not only that she's on your team, but she's given free range to actually attack and assassinate people on the squad. So it's one of those weird stories where now not only did we fight the fourth and kind of see just what his sigil is and what makes him strong, seeing the iron wall. The battle with the fourth was sick though. Him pretty much just punching guns and destroying them with one hit. um, but at the end of the day, the number one player of Darwin's game was so in tune with the fight that she noticed some of the more telling skills and talents of our main character, just being able to be in these situations and react on the fly, and to be capable of just hunting down and absolutely trying to destroy, uh, not destroy, but absolutely trying to get in a position where he can make some calls and he can feel superior or at least on equal footing with his opponents, so much so that he'll do practically anything to get that outcome. So seeing him just push himself as far as he could in this week's episode of this fight with the fourth, and then it pretty much just leading to a fight with the number one person was pretty crazy. Not to mention the fact that I'm pretty sure he's in an alliance with the person who is the clan owner of the fourth top player. He's in a clan alliance with him after the battle, and after the next battle that goes on a moving car, nonetheless, he gains another ally. You can say, excuse me, but now that we're really just in a position where everybody is kind of on our team and kind of know what the plan is, or at least what our main character wants to do, we just have to see now what they do as it's all playing out. Because as I'm looking at it, Darwin's game can end relatively easily with them finding the main leader of the game or whatever and just doing the things he said, killing him or whatever, like doing the things that he wants, something along those lines. But regardless, even if those things are done, um, this assassin girl does not lose this ridiculously broken ability to be able to just look at someone and practically tell them, or not tell them, but show them how she would have killed them just in that moment of time. And that same moment of time not really being enough, not really being enough to stop our chain using girl from advancing forward on her and still attacking, and she being the first one to actually do so, I guess in a while, or just even do it in general. But that's why the show is getting so good to me. It's because no one has the chance to really hold back as much as they want to, besides the tops. Like, we've only seen the top people be able to hold back. This man, the fourth, was getting shot getting shot at by a scorpion, getting shot at by all these guns. But that whole time, he never felt the urge to need to put on a sigil and actually advance forward. He only used it because he thought at the end of the day, this guy was going to commit some heinous move just to try to win, which would have been a stalemate if they both were taken out. But come to find out, the grenade he had thrown, or he gets in a situation where this guy throws a giant piece of like brick or just like a statue, or not statue, a stone monument or something along those lines, something really big and heavy and just like box squared like. So throws that at him, and because he can't really react to it or take it out as easy as this guy with martial arts, he has to run and dodge. And after doing so, he ends up in a position where he's just not supposed to be able to win. He's on the bottom, he's on the ground, guy's on top of him, and about to punch his lights out. And he pulls out a freaking grenade, but doesn't pull the pin on it. And you know what I thought he actually did, which would have made his ability even cooler to me. I thought he created the grenade, and then once the grenade was thrown up in the air, he changed it to a flash. But it looks like he had both flash and grenade in hand, one hand each. So, or he threw the grenade. By the time the guy reacted, he had actually then thrown the flash bomb too. So it was a weird moment, in the case of like how the animated studio chose to give us what it looked like, because you can't really tell where his other, I think you could see his other hand was kind of occupied. So once he threw that grenade, it just goes to show you how freaking fast he really is at being on the fly and just making these thoughts up or these moves up on a minute's notice. Or if he already had it in mind, you just couldn't tell, you know. So I really do like his character. I think the first player made me like him. The first top player made me like our main character even more than I already did, just by the way she analyzed him and looked at all the ways he does things, and not only how he does things, but how he's going to probably continue to do things, has probably impressed her. She would love to have kids with this guy, because not only would she pass on her ability, she would be maybe attaining his stone cold emotions in action, is what she was really looking forward to. She doesn't even really care about his sigil as much as she just cares about his personality and how much he'll do put going forward for people he truly cares about. And she saw that even more when he's in a position where they could all die and he needs to just say back off, but instead he's like, nah, everybody crash this car, let's get it. you know. And to say that you would fall in love with and have her kids or be your lackey, all that stuff really was right up her alley. So she had no real choice but to say yes, because not only did she think she was going to slap all of these people in this clan, but she had no real reason to disagree with it, because now he would just have to fall in line. He couldn't give her any attitude. He couldn't try to run away and stuff. And just as she promised to him, she can't kill any of them, and she has to try to escape, which she doesn't do because the car gets absolutely destroyed. But she does have all of our fighters at a stalemate. Like, there's no way anybody who was there could fight and beat her. So, in a way, she did win, but in the other way, she wouldn't have been able to leave that area without killing them, period. So, that's kind of where she lost in the grand scheme, that she didn't really understand until she thought about it, and she's like, whatever. um, but overall, Darwin's game was pretty good. I haven't heard anything about Ray Gun coming out today or seen it anywhere, so if I don't drop that, that's the only reason why. It's probably went on coronavirus break or something weird like that, so I wouldn't be surprised at all. But with all that being said, everybody, have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you sooner than later. So with that being said, take care and have a good one. Later.